guys, and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Battle Series, the School of Hard Knocks. So throughout this episode, like every other, we'll be jumping on to the Pokemon Global Link Battle Spot ladder, playing under the Championship Battle rules, which are the equivalent rule set of the VGC 2017 season. So we kicked off the week this week playing Sam Pandelis World Championship runners-up team. He was running that Alolan Ninetales, the Arcanine, the Garchomp, the Mandibuzz, Tapu Lele, and Xurkitree. So yesterday's episode, we actually managed, because Monday's episode we started off, we kind of just put a similar team together with what Sam was running with the movesets and the natures, but then when we were talking with Sam, he kindly offered the whole team to us, everything, EV spreads and everything. So in yesterday's episode, we kicked off properly with all the exact same team as Sam ran in the World Championships of the weekend. So big shout out to Sam again, just thank you so much for providing us with this team this week. I'm sure myself and everyone watching is massively appreciative of that. So we had a couple of games yesterday with the team. The first game yesterday, we had one turn where we completely missed what happened with the Arcanine flinch from the Garchomp. I got a bit confused, but then we went into our second game, because the first game we kind of closed out alright. I don't think the flinch mattered too much. It was a bit unfortunate for my opponent, but the second game we went into, and maybe we just led slightly wrong, but whatever happened, you know, we just had a real bad series of RNG, so it was a bit unfortunate, but hopefully we can turn the tables on that today, because we have our first opponent of the episode, and they are running a team of Arcanine, Tapu Fini, Alolan Persian, Tapu Koko, Kartana, and Snorlax. So quite a standardish looking team, but a very solid team nonetheless. We've got that AFK call, Kartana, Tapu Fini, Arcanine, and then we've got the parting shot fake out support from the Persian, Tapu Koko being the fast Tapu on the team, and then we've got that Snorlax that is going to probably be could be a belly drum, it could be a curse set. We need to be a little bit cautious of both variants here. So what are we going to do to lead off with? Xurkitree is going to be extremely good in this game. We just need to be a bit careful of the Snorlax here with the high horsepower. But other than that, it's going to be extremely good. The Arcanine, the Kartana poses a bit of a threat, but I think we'll lead Ninetales Xurkitree. Do we bring Arcanine and Garchomp here? I think we do. Maybe forego Tapu Lele and Mandibuzz in this matchup, which might make it a bit more difficult to deal with the Persian, because you can probably guarantee that the Persian is brought here, but I feel maybe the other members of the team are going to provide a bit more support all around. We've got to be aware if that Persian does come out, you know, it does have fake out. We don't have the cyclic terrain to stop it, and it also has taunt as well to stop the Aurora Veil, so that's something we need to keep in mind. But that's why we've got the Arcanine in the back. It's a nice switch in, especially in situations like this. We can bring it in on that Kartana, get the Intimidate, and just launch off a big T-ball. But at the same time, we have to be a little bit cautious of the Kartana going for a substitute here. You know, could technically double in to the Kartana. Let's go for a T-Bolt into the Kartana and switch in Arcanine. I think the worst that could happen here is a fake out into the Xurkitree, and maybe a substitute on the Kartana. We might see, you know, you never know, we might see a Z-move come out from the Kartana. There's the fake out, is into the Xurkitree, and we're going to see just a Smart Strike into that Arcanine, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Because this hail does break the potential sash on that Kartana, if it was holding that. I don't expect it is, it's probably a Z move, you've got to imagine. Right, so Kartana is heavily threatened here, so you've got to imagine that it probably switches out. But what does it switch out to? Maybe the Snorlax, but then again it might not want us just to get a Tailglow I'm just going to protect, and I'm going to go for a bulldoze with Arcanine. And we do see the Kartana switch. We see the Tapu Fini come in. So you get the protect off with the circuitry. See a taunt come out. Okay, so we do get the bulldoze off, which is nice. And this is going to allow us to outspeed that Persian this next turn and get a tail glow with our circuitry. But the one thing that we do need to be a little bit aware of is the potential haze on the Tapu Fini. But how likely that is with the inclusion of Snorlax on my opponent's team, I don't know. I kind of think that probably opt for something else there. So we'll go for that tail glow, and we will switch out Arcanine back into Ninetales, and then we can try and get that Aurora Veil up the next turn. So we'll get the Ninetales in, untaunted, as long as the Persian doesn't taunt into that slot, then we should be able to get the Aurora Veil up the following turn. So we do get that tail glow off, which is nice. Boost up that circuitry. And you just see a parting shot from the Persian. So it'll be interesting to see what actually comes in that side of the field. And the thing is, I wonder if that Tapu Fini is Specs, because if it is, it's going to do a heck of a lot of damage to this circuitry here. And it is the Kartana hitting the field. And we do see a Moonblast come out. Okay. So I wonder if this residual hail damage is now going to be enough to chip our berry on our circuitry. It's not quite enough, which is a bit unfortunate. So here I will just protect, and well, yeah, I have to protect really and try and get an Aurora Veil up with Ninetales, which is a bit risky because we're kind of tempting the speed tie with the Kartana if it decides to stay in. And a Smart Strike probably will pick up the KO onto Ninetales. Thing is, the Kartana could be scarfed even. So you do get the protect off. Kartana either wins the speed tie or it is scarfed. It's probably scarfed, isn't it? You've got to imagine it's maybe scarfed. So it's going to get a boost. We aren't going to be able to get that Aurora Veil off this turn. Kartana does take a bit of hail chip damage, and now our berry should proc, which is great. And hopefully this puts us in a prime position to bring Arcanine in, and we kind of have to rely now on the Kartana being scarfed, because the Smart Strike, we'll get the Intimidate off onto it. The Smart Strike's not going to be doing too much damage at all to our circuitry. So we've got to imagine that the Tapu Fini maybe protects here. Although it could be Specs. I don't know if it is Specs though from the damage output before. I'm going to go for the T-Bolt into the Fini, and I'm just going to go for yeah, Flare Blitz into the Kartana. And the Kartana withdraws, so we're probably just going to see a switch into the Persian, the Tapu Fini. Go for a Protect here. Yeah. My opponent playing this really well. The thing that we probably should have done was go for the T-Bolt into that Kartana slot, and then we would have been able to pick up the KO onto the Persian. Hail does stop. What we've got in the back? Garchomp. That's one option that we could do, is potentially protect circuitry, switch in Garchomp, and then the next turn we kind of almost force my opponent to parting shot the Garchomp, otherwise the Tectonic Rage picks up the KO onto the Tapu Fini, and we can just freely T-ball into that Persian slot. So there's a fake out, and we're going to see a Muddy Water come out from this Tapu Fini. And the Misty Terrain does disappear from the field. So we can go for, yeah, we go for a T-ball into the Persian slot. We could go for, we could go for a Swords Dance here, but I don't know if that's getting a bit greedy. Maybe. We'll go for the Tech Rage into that Tapu Fini. So Fini does just protect, so we are going to see, you know, I'm going to see a foul play come out from the Persian. Okay. I almost prefer that to a parting shot, because at least we're keeping Xurkitree like quite healthy at this point. We are going to get the T-ball off onto it, which should pick up the KO. Going to get a little bit of chip damage onto this Tapu Fini here with the Tectonic Rage. And we still have our Arcanine in the back, so when that Kartana does come in, we are going to be able to utilise that Intimidate, which is going to be pretty huge for us, kind of just slowing it down from its damage output. Tectonic Rage doing nothing behind that Protect. We do get the Thunderbolt off, it does pick up the KO on the Persian, and we are going to get ourselves another Beast Boost as well. And we know this Tapu Fini can't protect this next turn, so this next turn we can, you know, depending on what comes in, it is the Kartana. We know the Kartana can't protect. I feel like we go for the T-ball into the Kartana, and we bring in Arcanine, and kind of hope that we can take a Leaf Blade and a Moonblast. Or are we better off? Actually, we're probably better off going for the Fini this turn, I think. Yeah, because then the next turn we can kind of just cycle Intimidate a little bit. So we'll swap out the Garchomp, bring in the Arcanine. We know that Tapu Fini can't protect here because it's just protected this last turn. -1, we should survive a Leaf Blade, because I'd imagine that's what the Kartana goes for here. And there's the Leaf Blade. It's into the Arcanine slot though. Okay. Don't mind that too much. Does get a critical hit. Procs our Berry in the process, which is fine. Gets us a nice chunk of health back. We get the T-ball into that Tapu Fini and remove it from the field. And we're going to get another Beast Boost. So that'll put us up to +4, I think, because we did take a +4 +4, because we took a parting shot, didn't we, from the Persian earlier on in the game. And we've just got that Snorlax left. Okay, so I think here what we do is just protect Xurkitree. We know that Kartana can't protect, so we just go for a Flare Blitz into it, get rid of that, and then we can just help in hand into the Snorlax, and we should be able to pick up the win here. And there's a Leaf Blade into the Xurkitree, and we get a Flare Blitz. You know, the Snorlax might go for high horsepower into the Arcanine slot here, or double into the Xurkitree even. We can go for a Curse, you never know, high horsepower. And it is into the Arcanine. And it does pick up the KO. But we still have a Garchomp to bring in, so, you know, what we can do is just go for a T-ball. If that's not enough and it goes for the high horsepower, we go for the Swords Dance. And then that combination should be enough to kind of pick up the KO, at least on the Snorlax. I think, even though after we have the Pocket's Berry first, obviously. But we will go for that Swords Dance here with the Garchomp. I mean, we could have went for a Rock Slide, went for the flinch, but I feel like this is a more consistent route. Do get that Thunderbolt into the Snorlax. Oof, it's so close on picking up the KO. The Snorlax holds on with a slither of health. Goes for the high horsepower into the Xurkitree. This, no doubt, will pick up the KO. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is definitely game here. So we'll just go for the Thunderbolt, and we go for a Rock Slide, and that should finish the game up quite nicely. So there's the Rock Slide, +2. Not quite enough, but putting that Snorlax in range for us to finish the game off in style with our circuitry. So really good game to my opponent. I think the key things there were kind of identifying the Scarf on the Kartana early enough on, and not kind of falling into the traps. So I think we did all right getting the circuitry set up and then just playing around until we kind of picked our moments to kind of take our attacks. You know, there's a few turns there if we made the wrong decision or my opponent made a different decision, it could have totally went the opposite way. Just showing how hard a core that AFK core is to break down. But circuitry doing a really good job. So not a bad way to start the episode, and kind of really showcasing how good the team is at just operating against those popular cores that we see time and time again. So we'll move on to our next game, and hopefully it's another beauty. So, and just like magic, we have our next opponent, and this is Florian from Germany. It's not the Flaw though, it's not my good mate the Flaw, I don't think it is. Nah, it can't be. So, they're running a team of Arcanine, Celesteela, Garchomp, Tapu Koko, Snorlax, and Alolan Ninetales. So, circuitry again going to be very good here, I feel. You know, it's good against Arcanine, Celesteela, Tapu Koko, and Ninetales. Ninetales going to be huge for us, I feel, in just kind of generally setting up the Aurora Veil early on. Got access to Roar as well to kind of help us against the Snorlax, and Icy Wind as well that does help us against, you know, the faster threats on the team like that Tapu Koko. Bringing the circuitry though, we do need to be a bit careful with the Garchomp and the Snorlax in particular, because they do carry ground type attacks that could be a bit detrimental to ourselves. We bring circuitry. Do we bring Garchomp here? That's the thing, because the opposing Ninetales is going to be a bit of an issue. I feel like we definitely bring Arcanine here. Helps us a bit more against that Celesteela, and the Intimidate's really nice. Maybe we bring the Mandibuzz, but I think the Garchomp just offers too much for us not to bring it. So we'll lock in with those four right at the last second. And I say, is this my mate Florian, the Flaw? Because I have a very good friend, very well known, one of the best VGC players I have ever met in my time, the Flaw. And I wonder if he's getting back into it. He used to play a lot of VGC. He hasn't played in the 2017 season, unfortunately, but I do hope that he will come back to play in the 2018 season. He's a very good player, and he's a big miss to the community. Very innovative player. He won Italian nationals a few years ago. He's had many worlds appearances, and he was always a common part and one of my favourite parts of the Team Germany, so it'd be nice to see him back, but I don't think this is him. Anyway, on to the match itself. We've got my opponent leading off with the Arcanine and the Tapu Koko here, so one thing we could see my opponent go for is a double up into that Ninetales, potentially to stop the Aurora Veil. We could see a Taunt come out from the Tapu Koko. We could see an Extreme Speed and the T-Bolt into that slot. So do I want to go for the Aurora Veil? Well, I could go for the Aurora Veil and go for the Tail Glow at the same time. If I don't get one, I will definitely get the other. So let's go for that. And yeah, it's the Extreme Speed, so it looks like we're going to get doubled into. And there it is. Here's the Electrum Z. But, you know, I really don't mind this at all, because the thing is, we are getting the Tail Glow up for free. We're not getting the Aurora Veil up, which is a bit unfortunate. But at the cost of Ninetales, I think it's a very worthy trade-off. So a bit unfortunate that we do lose the Ninetales here, but we've got a free switch into our Garchomp now, and we do get the Tail Glow up. And Tapu Koko taking a round of hail, Xurkitree taking a round of hail, and the Arcanine taking a round of hail. So just from the hail damage there, we can tell that our Xurkitree is faster than our Arcanine, so we can target into it this next turn. I am going to bring in the Garchomp here. The Tapu Koko has burnt its Z move. And what do I go for here? Because my opponent's only resist to an electric type attack is the Garchomp, and then you've got the Celesteela. I would imagine my opponent probably has brought the Garchomp here, so we could Dazzling Gleam and Sword Stance. We could T-Bolt into the Tapu Koko slot and Sword Stance as well. I'm kind of tempted to do that, Sword Stance with Garchomp and just T-Bolt into that Tapu Koko slot. And the Arcanine does protect, so we're just going to see a Dazzling Gleam here from the Tapu Koko. Maybe, yeah, we are. It's going to do a good chunk of damage to both Pokemon here. But we do get the Sword Stance up, and we will be able to get rid of this Tapu Koko now, which is pretty big. The problem is now when the Garchomp comes in. But we know it hasn't got the Z move. Because Tapu Koko's already burnt that. Okay, so here's the Garchomp. I feel like our Garchomp, the thing is has my opponent got Dragon Claw? Because if they've got Dragon Claw, then it causes all sorts of issues. You know that Arcanine can't protect this next turn. I feel like we go for the Tectonic Rage into the Garchomp. If it is faster than us, and if it does have Dragon Claw, then we are in a bit of trouble. But I feel like it has to go for the Earthquake maybe, and maybe switch the Arcanine out. Just because of how threatening the Xurkitree is at this point with the Dazzling Gleam. So there's the Arcanine switch, Celesteela. Now our Garchomp should be able to take an Earthquake. But we are actually faster, so it doesn't even matter. But I don't think we could have risked that turn if the opposing Garchomp was Jolly Max speed and it just went for an Earthquake there. We would have lost Xurkitree and our Garchomp would have taken so much damage in that situation. So I don't think it was worth the risk there. So we do get this Tectonic Rage off. We're +2. This is going to pick up the kill. And we do manage to take this Garchomp down. We've still got the Electric Terrain up. We're putting a heck of a lot of pressure onto this Celesteela. And potentially, you know, the Arcanine going into this next turn. So we still have a Berry with our Xurkitree, so that's a nice option to have. You know, the Arcanine that is going to come in does have extreme speed, so we do need to be a little bit wary. My opponent knows that I can't just freely Earthquake here and allow my Xurkitree to protect. But I have just protected this next turn, so my opponent probably knows that I'm not going to go for an Earthquake here. So I am going to go for... I'm going to prioritize the Arcanine here. Because I feel like it needs to go for the extreme speeds. And if we can just remove it from the field now, it's going to be pretty huge. There's the extreme speed, yeah, just to get that additional damage onto my Pokemon. To get the Rock Slide, this will do a big chunk of damage to that Arcanine. +1 after the Intimidate. Pockets Berry. And then we'll be able to finish it off with a Thunderbolt, and then we should be able to close the game out with our Xurkitree here into that Celesteela. And we get another Beast Boost. Xurkitree's insane. Xurkitree's just so like crazy. Like you already put it to +3 and then every KO you get after that, getting more and more beast boosts. So we see the hail there just chip down circuitry enough to activate Ayapa Berry and get us a bunch of health back and put us in a prime position to take down this Celesteela with a +2 Garchomp and a +4, +4, +5. Okay, so +5. So let's go for a Rock Slide and let's just go for that T-Bolt into the Celesteela, and unfortunately, yeah, it's going to be game over. My opponent just forfeits, but very good game to my opponent. I think it was extremely difficult once we got the tail glow up, and we had a perfect opportunity to do that turn 1. Like I say, we either get the Aurora Veil up or we get the tail glow up. My opponent had to kind of really pick in that situation which target I wanted to go for, and you know, I think it's really difficult. You know, if you don't take down the Ninetales in that situation, then the Aurora Veil goes up, and the match just becomes even more difficult to take down the threats that I had on the field. So yeah, it was just showing how strong the team is once it gets set up and carried away. But we're going to call it a day there, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode. It's been a lot of fun. We've had a really good couple of battles, which I hope you have enjoyed. We will be back tomorrow playing some more VGC. We're going to play VGC all this week. We're not going to get into QR codes or battle spot doubles just yet. We're going to save that all for next week. As I say, I have got my parents visiting this week, so I am pre-recording a few videos just to make up for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday episodes. So there's content there, and do comment though on the videos and things. Let me know what you've thought of the episode, the matches that we've played, and how the team's doing and things like that. And if you've tried this team out yourselves, let me know how you're getting on with it and things like that, because I will be picking up the comments throughout the week. And like I said earlier in the video, do let me know. I'm just putting feelers out at the minute, because if you want, we'll probably play this team again next week if you guys want to. And then the following week we'll build a new VGC team to take forward. But I want you to get your ideas in now. If you've got preferences on what you want to see played, if you want to see certain strategies implemented and played within the channel, then let me know, because I can start building something around that now. My personal preference would be to maybe build something around Porygon Z. You know, we haven't played it at all on the channel this year, and I think it's got a lot of potential. It's got a lot of options, super offensive, got a really good setup option as well. So I think it's something that we could look at maybe going forward. So let me know what you guys think anyway. But as always, please leave a like on the video if you've enjoyed the episode, guys. If you're new to the channel, hello, welcome. Do hit that subscribe button so you are up to date with all our daily content from our School of Hard Knocks, Battle Spot Double Series, QR Code, best of 3 battler, which will be back this evening. We have an opponent for tonight and the rest of the week, hopefully. So depending if it goes to that game 3 or not, but we'll at least have 2 episodes of it this week. First episode starting tonight, and I'm not going to let anything out the bag. It's a very good friend of mine, so looking forward to this matchup a lot, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And we'll be back tomorrow with another episode of the School of Hard Knocks, playing this amazing team that Sam Pandelis ran at the recent World Championships in Anaheim. So we haven't even touched on it yet, that World Championships next year, it's in Memphis, isn't it? So excellent. Let me know what your thoughts are on that as well, guys. Really good to hear what you guys think of that announcement. Very excited myself. Home of one of the music capitals of the world, so big music fan myself, so it's nice to see the Pokemon World Championships make an appearance down there. But I'm not going to drag this on any longer. You guys go away, have an amazing evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time of day it is. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves, having fun, and I will see you all tomorrow. So until then, guys, bye bye.